Welcome to today's morning meeting. I'm Greg Luther, the one guy that meets with you every single week to help you in growing your real estate business. We're going to talk about some of those changes that we're starting to see and some of the changes you need to be preparing for in your real estate business. No question, the market has changed drastically. We are losing thousands and thousands of agents all over the United States. We're seeing a lot more of that every single month. We're seeing the mass exodus, which frankly, I think is great news. It's only going to be that lower level that leaves those professionals that want to do a better job, that want to succeed. They're going to be the ones that are absolutely crushing it in today's market. So do me a favor, check in the chat. Let me know what city and state you sell real estate in. We've got a lot we're going to cover today. I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of the path that we've been on, the path that some of our agents have been on, and frankly, the path you should be on with a lot of these changes that are coming up here and happening on a regular basis, and why it's so important for agents that are really looking to make the changes they need to make in today's marketplace. Many of you know that a little over 4 months ago, I closed down enrollment into my Inner Circle coaching. So we have Greg Luther Inner Circle coaching. We have tons and tons and tons of members all over the country, and it's been very, very profitable. It's better now than it's ever been before because I stopped letting people come in. And we'll talk a little bit about why that is, but I want to give you kind of a peek into what we're doing to help our members in closing more business and really starting to explode their production levels in the face of all the adversity that we're facing. And by the way, you are facing this yourself. So we'll talk a little bit about that. You know, right now, so many agents are lost and confused and really stunned. They've been punched in the mouth and they don't know what they should do. These changes that were supposed to happen in July are now being pushed. And, you know, are we going to have them sign a contract beforehand? And what if they don't want to sign that contract? And now I want them to sign a contract, but I don't even know if I'm going to get paid. And what if I do it at 2%? And is there a workaround that we can use on displaying commission? And now they just came out this morning showing that the Department of Justice has created this whole section specifically looking for workarounds, looking for real estate agents or real estate brokerages that are creating workarounds on this ruling that they have here. So the Department of Justice is looking for us to find workarounds because they want to squash that immediately. So a lot of agents are just kind of, they're confused right now. I mean, the way we're getting paid as a realtor is changing. It's absolutely changing. The way that money has always worked is starting to change, and a lot of agents are deciding to fold, deciding to throw in the towel rather than make those simple changes that need to be made. I mean, you're now going to be signing contracts on the hood of a car before you can even show a home. You have to have a buyer agency agreement, not an agency disclosure, but an agreement of employment that outlines how much you get paid. Now, I don't know why that's an issue for you. It's not an issue if you're a painter, if you're a landscaper, if you're an attorney, if you're anything in the world other than a realtor. Why? Because that's the way we've always done it. So these are some changes that are really going to be kind of scary for people. And I think the biggest one of all that nobody's even talked about, they've changed the way we're allowed to advertise. You can't say free home value anymore. You can't say free phone consultation. You can't say free analysis of the market. You can't do any of that anymore. Frankly, you're not allowed to use the word free. But have you made those changes? Are you making those changes? And how do you multiply your results in the face of that adversity? Well, that's what we've been working on for the past 4 months, where I've just been working solely with all of our members to see massive increases in their production. What they haven't been doing is sitting there asleep at the wheel. What they haven't been doing is waiting on some fictitious date that eventually is going to change the way we're doing. Well, are you shutting down your business for 4 months in the meantime? Or 5 months, or what may end up being 6 months, waiting on what may happen in the future? Probably a bad idea for you. You need to be focused on, how do I handle all of the closings I have this month? How am I going to keep processing this many closings, but still market myself? If that's not happening for you, you are asleep at the wheel. You are struggling because you choose to, because you're sitting back waiting on future changes that may happen. Look, eventually, I'm not going to need to do video. Eventually, there's going to be some AI robot that does all this stuff, and it looks like me, and it sounds like me, and all of that stuff. But in the meantime, I have to provide value to our community. That's what you have to do as well. Stop worrying about what's going to happen when things change. But the two biggest ones a lot of agents aren't talking about right now is the way we change, the way we advertise ourselves, our services, and our houses. All of that is changing. And another big one, the public perception as to their need of a real estate agent or the value of a real estate agent, that is changing. Those are the two big things nobody's talking about. You know what they're talking about? Freaking contracts. Why does the contract matter if the prospect doesn't see value in using you or thinks you're overpaid or thinks you've been gouging people for years? Why do you think the contract matters if they don't want to work with you in the first place? What if we spend our time fixing all of the things we offer so they do want to work with us? You know, one thing you've got to think about, no matter what industry you're in, what position you're in at the job that you work, you need, and I want you to write these two words down. You're either irreplaceable or you're disposable. You're one of the two. And by the way, if you work for a corporation, if you work at a company, you know people there, yourself and all of the other employees, you know who is irreplaceable and who is disposable. And the only thing that changes that is their actions every single day. How do they make themselves irreplaceable? Well, now that we're in real estate and we know that they're trying to negotiate both sides and buyers are paying a buyer's agent and the seller's paying the seller's agent, you need to make yourself irreplaceable. What can you offer that nobody else offers? How do you go above and beyond to show on the buy side and then on the sell side? These are two completely separate job descriptions. How do you go above and beyond to show that you are irreplaceable, not disposable or replaceable by anybody else that just fills the position? Right? It's almost like an hourly employee at McDonald's. If you're an hourly employee at McDonald's, you're pretty much disposable. You're not doing anything above and beyond that makes you completely irreplaceable. Well, that could happen literally at McDonald's. You could do that, or any industry for that matter, any business, any job that you have. So certainly for the job called real estate or professional marketer that exposes the property to the most opportune buyers to sell that home for the highest price, yes, you can become irreplaceable. Now's a good time for you to spend your time, efforts, energy, and focus on becoming irreplaceable to your clients. As an example, if you list the home and you've got like all this great presentation, you put the lockbox up, you get the signs, the pictures, you do all that stuff, and then they don't hear from you for even 7 days, they assume you took it and ran. You're doing absolutely nothing. This agent's doing nothing. We're not getting any showings. I don't see any ads anywhere. Why aren't they doing an open house this weekend? They've got all these questions that are coming up because you're doing a bad job of showing that you're irreplaceable by doing nothing more than sending an email that says, hey, just want to let you know we just ordered that list from the mailing list company. We're going to be doing some direct marketing. Hey, just want to let you know we got this updated on Zillow. Let me know if you see anything on there you want changed. Just that communication itself shows them you're doing your job, because if they're not getting their desired result, which is 77 offers in 12 hours, if they don't get what they think is going to happen, they automatically assume you're doing nothing, and that integrity starts to fade immediately.